James Bond. James Bond. Hi guys, welcome to Nerd Bites, and this is going to be my spoiler review for Spectre. Being as a James Bond, I've spruced myself up a bit. It's Bond. Before we begin, there will be spoilers, so you have been warned. So I've just gone and watched Spectre, got back about 15 minutes ago from watching it, and I thought it was a really good film. Maybe on par with Skyfall, maybe probably not as good as it, I would say, but it's still a really good, solid film, and I really enjoyed it. The first thing I really enjoyed was the opening scene, where it was just one continuous shot straight down into the crowd, straight to Bond, and he went all the way through the hallways, all the way back up and down into the hotel room, and then back out onto the wall up into his target on the end. It just, that whole thing was done in one fluid shot, which is a really, really good cinematography. I thought that was epic. Having Christoph Waltz as a bad guy, finally, it was awesome. He was really, really good. Hats off to you, sir, because that was an awesome performance. We had Dave Bautista as well, with some kind of henchman guy. Yeah, he doesn't really say much. He says one word. One word. But I did like the fact that he kept appearing. He kept able to be able to find Bond constantly. The big car chase scene and everything, that was really fun, although the prototype DB10 didn't last very long, to be honest. So a lot of people are asking, what is Spectre? Spectre looks like it's an organisation, and the main guy is obviously Christoph Waltz's character, and all the bad guys that Bond has faced in the Daniel Craig incarnation are legs of that Spectre. Or basically they are henchmen, they are, you know, all part of the same one umbrella, you know, they're all together in one thing, and Christoph Waltz's character is the main guy, which I thought was a really good way of doing it. I thought it was a good way of tying it all in, keeping it all into one big story with Daniel Craig. I thought it was an awesome way of doing it. Again, Daniel Craig has just solidified for me that he's my favourite Bond. For a while, a long time, it was Pierce Brosnan, and obviously not near the end of his run, but throughout this entire thing, Daniel Craig has just been brilliant. I think he's definitely the best Bond, the Bond that we need. He's brutal, he gets the job done, and yet he's still got the kind of swagger, the kind of arrogance about him that we all love. Obviously Mr. White from the Quantum of Solace, he's obviously part of the Spectre thing, but he's almost on his last legs. Bond finds him, finds that he has a daughter, then he kills himself, and he has to go and find his daughter because he gave him his word, and obviously the story follows on from there. He finds it up in the Alps as well, up in the a snowy region, and then Bautista's character finds him again, and we have a really, really awesome chase scene with cars and James Bond in a plane, chasing them down, and the wings get cut off, and he literally just glides down and down this hill chasing them, and he obviously gets them at the end. Just a really cool scene, really good the way they put it together, full of action, full of awesomeness, and again, I was really happy with Daniel Craig's performance, and I'm really glad that Bautista was doing his job as well, even though he didn't say much. The fight scene with James Bond and Bautista's character was awesome. Just through the train, really good punch shot. Obviously Bautista being able to show his strength and everything, obviously his skill as a wrestler as well, really coming in there. Just the choreography was really good, and you get the one line from Bautista just as he gets dragged out of the train by all these beer barrels, all these beer kegs. He literally goes, shit, and then he's out the window. It was just a really cool idea. I mean, it kind of sucks that we didn't get more dialogue from him, because I feel like we could have. But I get why they did it. He was just the kind of Jaws of this episode, really. He was the kind of just big henchman guy, just used his fists rather than his mouth. Another character that I really enjoyed was Ralph Fiennes M. He was kicking some ass in this film. He really was, because obviously in the last film he was obviously in the transitional period between him and Judi Dench, so you didn't really get much of him. But in this, obviously, he completely into the role, and his character was just, you know, really, really embellished a lot more, and I really enjoyed it. The interrogation scene with Christoph Waltz's villain guy, I keep forgetting the name of it, sorry, interrogating Bond with these drills into his head was just awesome. I mean, it kept my eyes glued to the screen the entire time. The way that Christoph Waltz was talking and like saying what he was saying, doing what he was doing, just everything about his mannerisms just had me going, holy shit, I'd be crapping myself right now. It was an awesome scene, nice ending as well, with him with a bomb on the watch, and throw it and it explodes, and eventually the two of them get away, and you think that Christoph Waltz's character was dead. I generally thought they've killed him like that. That's a bit of a waste, but as we see later on, he does come back. One of the great things I really enjoyed was the fact that the finale was in London, which doesn't really happen that often in a Bond film. It's very rare it does, but it happened in London. It was the final thing. It was the old MI6 quarters that Bond was in while the rest of the guys were trying to take down C, which is this dude that is part of Spectre, and he's basically have complete control over everyone basically, and M and everybody is trying to stop him while James Bond is going through the old building, comes to the top of it, and you see that obviously Christoph Waltz's character is still alive, but this time his eye is gone. He's got a massive scar right down here from the explosion, so he survived, and I'm glad that he came back like that, because one, he looks like a cooler villain like that, and two, I'm glad because I thought it was going to be a waste. I thought they were going to waste this opportunity, and they didn't. He came back, it was awesome. Just like, yes, this character is kick-ass. The plan that he set up, you've either got 3 minutes to get out the door or 3 minutes to get to the top of the building and save the missus. Just a really cool plan. And he just watches from the helicopter as well. Obviously Bond saves the day, gets the missus, gets out and everything, and he carries on down the Thames as well with the boat, shooting at the helicopter, trying to take him down. Eventually hits the mark, helicopter crashes right on the bridge outside Big Ben, and then you have the final scene where Christoph Waltz's character dragging himself across, broken leg. Bond finds him, gun to the head, and it's kind of looking at him. Is he gonna kill him? Is he not gonna kill him? He keeps saying, finish it, do it, kill me, and he doesn't kill him, which is something very rare with a main villain. He didn't kill him. He chose not to. He unloaded the gun and he walked off with his missus, and that was it. And then M came in and put him under arrest, basically. Which was cool, because if we do have one more Bond film with Daniel Craig, then there's all that potential that Christoph Waltz's character could return. And I'd totally be fine with that, a continuation with that villain, because he's awesome. A nice little way to finish it off as well was, you think Bond's done again, like he has been so many times, then he pops back and sees Q, he says, I need one more thing. He gets the old original DB5, although I think it's a DB5, and just drives off in the sunset while the main tune of James Bond theme just goes off, and that's the end of the film. Really cool way to end it. I really enjoyed this film. It had, had some bits where it was a little bit building up for a while, but all the actions definitely made it up for that. The action was awesome, the story was awesome, the characters were awesome, and once again Daniel Craig proves to me that he is the best Bond we've had. I really enjoyed Spectre. I thought it was a really good film. I don't think it was as good as Skyfall, maybe a little bit less, but it's still a great film nonetheless. So for that I'm going to give it 4 stars. So that's my spoiler review on Spectre. What did you think about the film? Let me know down in the comments or send me an email. You can also find me in the various social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and moviepilot.com. Just type in Nerd Bites anywhere and I'm sure you'll find me. And of course, keep it nerdy.